your storm station forecast with Chief Meteorologist Josh Eaches.
We will start off in the tropics. The basin is as busy as it has been at any point in this hurricane season. Now, the attention is certainly going to Hurricane Fiona right now, as it should, and all that recovery that is underway in Puerto Rico and beyond. As a result, this storm is going to start accelerating to the north. Top of the screen there is Bermuda. We're hoping that it's not a direct hit there. Looks like it may be staying just to the west, but would put Bermuda into even hurricane or tropical storm conditions on the eastern side. We are more focused locally on what is now just a cluster of showers and thunderstorms moving across the Windward Islands. This is an open tropical wave, really poorly organized at this point, but it's a high chance that this does eventually become a tropical depression as it moves into the Caribbean Sea over this upcoming weekend. Really, by the time it reaches Jamaica or so, that's when conditions get a bit more favorable. That's also when I expect us to know a lot more about the future prospects of this system. So a lot of unanswered questions at this point. We do expect something to be near the southeastern Gulf of Mexico by about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Keep in mind, as we always reiterate during hurricane season, you can see wild scenarios that show Category 5 hurricanes over essentially any town you want to put it on the Gulf Coast, if you're looking for that on the internet. So you have to kind of follow along with the trends here and how things are unfolding day to day. We have a lot of factors that will come into play here, including the upper level steering winds and a front, which we'd all be rooting for to come through our area to get rid of some of this late summer heat. Also can act like a shield against a tropical system. Be interesting to see the interplay between those systems next week. At this time, does not look immediately like a threat to our area, but there's a lot of time to watch and monitor and stay ready as we're still very much in the middle of hurricane season. Here is Hurricane Fiona, strongest storm so far in the basin this season at 130-mile-per-hour winds just to the east of the Bahamas. Pretty well-defined and opened up eye here, and you can see quite a bit of convection on the western side of the eye. Really strong winds expected in that area, and then we'll see this churning northward at 9 miles per hour and accelerating toward Bermuda in the next 24 to 36 hours. This ends up being a potent, non-tropical storm system, transitioning as it gets into this weekend, approaching parts of southeastern Canada. Actually, I have an aunt and uncle vacationing there. Didn't expect to have to deal with the tropics in Canada, but here we are moving toward the end of September. Tropical outlook is showing that we have 3 other systems out there in the basin. Gaston may produce some surf, rain in the Azores and the North Atlantic, 2 waves that do not look like a long-term threat to the U.S. with a low and medium chance of development out near Africa, respectively. Back at home, pretty quiet today, pretty hot, 94 degrees, a lot of sunshine out there, dew point of 72, making it feel a bit more sticky than we felt, say, last week at this time. Satellite radar picture is showing that inland areas are clear. Have a shower or two trying to develop closer to the Louisiana coast where there's a bit more moisture available. Really no consequence from that. Tonight, 71 degrees. We're clear and we're mild. We move into tomorrow. May set a record high temperature just before we bring fall in after the 8 o'clock hour. Winds will be out of the north at about 5 miles per hour. The record watch continues on Friday and Saturday. Friday has a shot at beating the 2016 93-degree marker at Metro Airport. Saturday's number of 96 back in 1931 appears to be safe based on our forecast of 94. When do we get rid of the near record warmth? Late Sunday, we see a front moving into the area. That's really our next best shot at seeing some shower and thunderstorm activity. And by Monday evening, that front offshore in the northern Gulf of Mexico, drier air filtering in. We'll feel that on Tuesday, Wednesday, likely even into Thursday of next week with temperatures closer to normal. And the other side of things is if that front stays intact across the Gulf of Mexico, any tropical system that could be in the southern Gulf would likely get absorbed by that boundary and pulled to the northeast. Might not necessarily weaken it, but would deflect it in the opposite direction. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, as it could do us a big favor. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. We show those temperatures in the middle 90s through the weekend. That front comes by on Monday, the transitional day, and then highs in the mid to upper 80s on Tuesday and Wednesday. More like it for the time of year. We'll enjoy those low temperatures in the low to mid 60s as well.